guys, it's Courtney here, and look at this little pumpkin. Who is this? So, this little girl, yes, it's a girl, or it's going to be a girl, is the one I've been kind of referencing when I've said off and on some past videos that I was working on another girl for my collection. So once I have her, I'll have 3 boys, 3 girls, 2 silicones and 4 reborns. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Yeah. So like in my collection thus far, etc. Sorry, I'm just making sure she's in frame well. So in case you don't know, this is an Ashton Drake baby. This is Welcome Home Emily head, sculpted by Linda Webb. This is her limbs are from Ashton Drake's Charlie or Katie, also sculpted by Linda Webb. And in case you're not familiar with those 2 dolls, Charlie or Katie is a full vinyl doll, and Emily is basically, it has 1/4 limbs, which is where the arms cut off here, the legs here, and then the rest of it's cloth to go with the cloth body. And she's a very popular sculpt. At least she's what you call a timeless sculpt, because back before artists would sculpt dolls specifically for kits, like producing in vinyl for artists to do, people would reborn Ashton Drake dolls, or Lee Middleton, or Masterpiece Galleries, or just play babies. And so this little one kind of became, or at least her face, Emily, became a very popular sculpt to reborn. And back when I very first started, I was kind of doing the same thing, because I was thinking that reborning a like factory made doll would be easier, just because they already had like a little bit of blushing on them, etc. But then later on I found out that it's actually so much harder to do a factory made doll, because there's a lot of stripping involved, like taking all the hair out that's glued on, removing the hard shell full vinyl body from Charlie is a nightmare. It's a very, very hard, dense piece of plastic that you had to saw through basically to get the limbs out seamlessly. It's just a lot. So I did wind up making, I've made, I want to say maybe 5 Emmalise or 5 Ashton Drake babies, very similar in total since I started reborning. And there was one in particular that turned out amazing, and I loved her so much, and I did wind up selling her at some point. And at that time she was definitely like the most I ever made with a reborn. She was very well sought after, and she bid really high, and she was actually turned out really well. But she's always a baby that I've missed and that I've really liked. And so that being said, I wanted to try again, so I wanted to reborn one for myself. I wound up asking on some doll forums. I'm actually going to go ahead and dress her while I talk about her, so I don't waste time in the video. But I wound up asking on, I think, Facebook and then some doll forums if anyone had a Emily, or I can't remember if I asked specifically for a Charlie or an Emily, or for both, or I think I even just mentioned the project that I was trying to do, that I wanted an Emily head and Charlie limbs, and thankfully somebody happened to have an Emily head, a Charlie head, and then the Charlie limbs already separate from the body. But she also had the body that she sent as well, so I wound up purchasing all of that. And so that was so much nice, because it is so much work to take the body apart and have all the little pieces still applied to the limbs, because the limbs are ball jointed. So as you can, well, I don't know if you can tell, they're definitely they're connected to the cloth body a little bit different. I bought this cloth body custom made for ball jointed limbs, and so it's also different from typical reborn bodies. And so she's definitely like a very customize, one-of-a-kind type deal when you're reborning her. She takes a lot of effort. Anyway, so all that being said, she's not done at all. I think the only thing that I have done for her, I didn't want to strip her. One, because I do worry about her vinyl, because it is an older vinyl. And two, I mean, her coloring is fine. It's going to be easy to neutralize and all that. So I wasn't too worried about that. But I did give her a layer of matte varnish, which I put that layer on all of my vinyl dolls because it really does help the paint adhere much better, much easier. And so I did that for her because, especially with Ashton Drake vinyl, it's very slick and almost kind of, it's just a lot smoother. So it doesn't, so when you're painting, it doesn't adhere quite as well. There's been many cases people paint, and even when they've heat set it, it just wipes right off. And that's because it just doesn't have the grip for the paint to stick. So I usually do a very thin layer of matte varnish, and you can tell it's got that little texture to it. But the paint is going to adhere so much nicer when I get around to it. But she, like Grayson is also not done. They're on the back burner because they are for my personal collection. So she's been just hanging out in pieces in a box for a couple months. So I finally decided, no, she's not done. No, her limbs are not weighted at all. They're quite squishy. But I decided to still go ahead and throw her together and at least enjoy her a little bit while I'm waiting for her to be completed. So, so basically her and Grayson are unfinished, so they can just share a little baby lounger, whatever you call it, together. It's the little unfinished crew that will hopefully get done maybe by Christmas or something like that. But I can still enjoy them and dress them and have fun with them. I did weight her body and her head, so she still is cuddly to hold. But once she's all finished, once she's completely done, I am planning on doing a video showing what her cloth body is like, how to assemble her, because she is, like I said, on ball jointed limbs, so very different to assemble. I plan on doing a video on all that just so I can show you guys if you're interested, because even if you didn't want to reborn, like in other words paint and root, you could also, if you wanted to, get, you know, Emily head, these limbs, and assemble and make her more cuddly and be able to wear more clothing, etc. So I wanted to put that video out there for you guys. So that will be coming in the future when I get ready to work on her. But anyway, I don't have a name for her just yet, but so I'll have to think of something. If you guys can think of a name, please feel free to post it in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy watching this video, and we will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, maybe take a second to hit the subscribe button. If you want to, that is. No pressure. But if you decide to do so, there's also a bell notification right next to that subscribe button. You can't miss it. That way you will always get notified every time I upload a video. Again, that's also extremely optional. No pressure. But we have fun here, so it can't hurt, right? Ha! Courtney out.